Good evening, everyone. Hasn't this been a great night? Fabulous. Thank you, Calvin and Johnson & Johnson. That was really a special beginning to my speech, and I thank you to Johnson & Johnson for underwriting this award. Congratulations to my fellow award winners for tonight on your award and the work you do on a daily basis. It's really quite astounding, and I'm so honored to share the stage with you tonight. I'm here this evening alongside my entire generation in thanks to Sue Peshin, the Alliance for Aging Research, for giving us the tools for my generation to live in a health span instead of a lifespan, for giving us these bonus years. We know now how important it is to eat healthy foods, to exercise our minds and our bodies, to be sociable, to be optimistic, to set goals for ourselves, and to give back to others, and of course, to love what you're doing. We're very lucky, you and I. We live in a world where data is shared across the world. My grandmother, my mother, and my two sisters were not so lucky. They all were diagnosed with cancer. They were treated by very good doctors, and they subsequently passed away. Not because the doctors didn't do the best they could, not because the doctors didn't care, but because they didn't have the knowledge that we have today. 50 years after my mother died of cancer, I too was diagnosed with stage 4, metastasized, inoperable cancer. 2 months to live, 3 very important doctors said. But unless I started very extreme treatment within the next 2 days and had a life-changing operation that may not do any good at all, they gave me no chance. But instead, I went to 2 more doctors who turned out to be very forward-thinking doctors, as it turned out, and they came up with an experimental drug of a shot and a pill. They went to the tumor board. The tumor board said yes. I said yes. And I'm more than excited to tell you that I'm on that same shot and a pill 17 years later. That's research. That's what research does. There are thousands of us like me marching into our 70s, 80s, and 90s with our diseases, and we're living vibrant, full lives. And then there are thousands more, because of the health span that we all live in, that can push back age-related diseases 10 to 15 years. And that puts money back into the economy, because age-related diseases like cancer, diabetes, heart disease cost the economy money. So it's a win-win. And wait, that's not all. The first of the baby boomers turned 65 in the years 2011. So by the years 2035, there'll be more people over the age of 65 than 18 and under. We have to help these people. We need health care for all. When I have the privilege of going around the country and speaking for organizations or going to assisted livings, I don't see old people. I see interested people, vital people, relevant people. In my parents' generation, when you were 65, you were widowed and you were retired from your jobs. They stayed widowed and they stayed retired. But this generation at 65 is just getting rolling. They're on dating apps. They're recreating their lives. They're starting new businesses. They're getting married, and that's in their 80s and 90s. This is a very hopeful generation. That's why I call us the groundbreaking generation, because we are the first generation to grow older and not old. That's because of research. When I hear somebody complain and they say, oh, I'm so upset I'm turning 60 or I'm turning 70. I say, wait, you don't know. You're going to have 30 or 40 incredible years ahead of you. I won't kid you, aging can be hard. There are struggles as you age, but there are wonderful surprises. I had no idea that at 68 I would write my first book, that at 71 I would produce my first documentary, that at 80 I would appear in the Capitol building and speak in Washington, D.C. At 82, I did my TED Talk about to rethink aging, which we must. And here I am tonight, at 85, getting the award of a lifetime for what they call a body of work. For what they call a body of work, and I just call things I love to do. I'm so honored and so grateful. My generation is teaching our own bodies how to live these extra bonus years, while we are showing those who are coming up behind us not only to accept aging, but to look forward to it. There are so many opportunities. We can teach, we can mentor, we can show those coming up behind us. So I must thank Sue Peshin and the Alliance for Aging and all of you out there who commit yourselves to the study of aging. If it's so important now, think of how important it's going to be in 10, 20, 30 years. We need this study. You have changed our lives. And now we must change the way people think of us. We are relevant, we are here, and we are assets to the community. I want to thank my loving and supportive family who have been so supportive my whole life. I want to thank my son Jim and my granddaughter Tess and my two friends, Bobby and Mike, who have come across country. And I want to give special thanks to my dearest husband, who I love dearly, who has held my hand throughout all my reinventions and hasn't said a word and has just smiled and loved me. And I want to leave you all with a line from a poem. One of my very favorite poets, Mary Oliver, who really has expressed exactly the way I feel. She has said, "When it's all over, I don't want to wonder if what I have made of my life is something particular and real. And I say, because of tonight, you make me feel as though perhaps I have. And for that, and everything that you do, I thank you."